Hi, welcome all to Value Trades channel. This is the video 2 of the option buying series. So in this video, before we actually jump into the rules, which were explained in the part 1 of the video 1. So before we jump into the rules, one has to understand the environment in which an option buyer usually operates. To understand this environment, one has to be very much aware of the challenges that an option buyer faces on a day-to-day basis. So such challenges can be right from time. So time is the biggest enemy of an option buyer. The theta decay will always eat away the premium of the option buyer. And then second comes the momentum. One has to be very aware of the momentum. Momentum, what is the momentum? Momentum is the speed at which the prices of the premium move. Okay, so the prices of the premium movement speed can be classified as momentum, and this has to happen really fast. And then the third important point is direction. So one has to be very much aware that what the larger trend is and what the shorter trend is. We will be further discussing about this in the later videos. And then the most and absolutely one important aspect on which the entire series will be further based upon is risk to reward. Further going, when we get into the rules, you will be seeing the entire framework of the rules shall be based only and purely upon risk to reward basis. So this is of very high importance. And then we will be then later in the videos we will be trying to understand as the days progress. We will be trying to understand the sizing. What is sizing? Sizing is the number of lots that an individual has to pick. So it depends and it varies accordingly based upon the risk to reward that is associated with the uh, on a given trade. So an individual has to be very much aware that if he is on a winning streak, he has to have a more number of lots, and whenever he is on a losing streak, it is expected to cut down his losses and to cut down his number of lots. And then the next big challenge is positioning. It is the pricing at which an individual buys a premium or any strike price. So we will be talking about this in detail in the rules section further. Now, for this, I have made this video separately because unless you do not understand these concepts, not just because usually many people come into the market just because they have money, okay, just because they have money, and then option buying is cheap, okay, and it is easily accessible. These are not the criterias to do a option buying. For the past 10 years in my trade, I have seen many people who do not consider trade to be as a business. There is a much of a psychology that gets associated with it, wherein I have seen lot many participants whose approach to the entire market is more of a gambling in nature rather than trying to understand and make a business from it. Okay, so my very initiative for which I have started this channel is there are umpteen number of strategies. There are many strategies that have been discussed across the YouTube about for option buyer, but I have found very little content, or almost I can say no content, that talks about the psychology, which actually plays a very great role for an option buyer. Okay, so my entire video further will be based on, but the very reason for which I started the channel happens to be the psychology, because this part is not really taught anywhere across the YouTube that I have seen, that I have come across. So this will be of very importance, and further we will be understanding how to get rid of the psychology. For the psychology, for an individual to gain a psychological benefit, one has to have these aspects and these criteria to be considered. Okay, the time, the momentum, the direction, the risk to reward, the sizing, and the positioning. If these things, if these criteria are taken care of, usually there is very less chance that your psychology gets hampered. There is a very little chance that an individual's psychology gets hampered. But whenever something goes wrong on any or many of these aspects, usually the emotional aspect of a trade comes in and kicks in, because of which an individual tends to do averaging or ego trades or hope trades. Okay, this and they do not adhere to any proper stop losses. These are the reasons for which usually emotional aspect of a trader kicks in. Okay, to curtail these emotions and to understand how this psychology works, we will be further talking about in our next video, wherein I will be in detail trying to make you understand that how to control the psychology by just simply following one simple rule, and that would be very easy to understand and very easy to implement as well. So stay connected, and I will be posting it in our next video. Have a great day.